All right, let's see how sharp you really are. Your organization may rely on suppliers, consultants, technology providers, contractors, and other outside partners. But when something goes wrong, who is responsible? Today, we're testing your knowledge of third-party oversight. 10 questions, no hints, no second chances. I'll give you the statement. You decide, fact or fiction? Think fast, trust your instincts, and keep score because this one gets tricky. Ready? Let's test your knowledge. Question 1. Here's your first statement. Once a company outsources a business activity, it also transfers responsibility for the associated risks to the third party. The answer is fiction. This sounds believable, but it's not accurate. An organization can outsource an activity, but it cannot simply outsource accountability. If a third party mishandles customer information, interrupts an essential service, violates a regulation, or fails to meet contractual requirements, the organization that hired it may still face financial, operational, legal, and reputational consequences. That is why effective oversight must continue throughout the entire relationship, not end when the contract is signed. Question 2. Next statement. Third-party oversight should begin before a contract is signed. The answer is fact. Effective oversight begins during the selection and due diligence process. Before entering a relationship, an organization should understand the third party's capabilities, financial condition, reputation, cybersecurity practices, regulatory history, operational resilience, and use of subcontractors. The depth of the review should depend on the risk and importance of the proposed service. Discovering a serious weakness before signing is usually far easier and far less expensive than trying to fix it after the third party has access to systems, data, customers, or critical operations. Question 3. Let's continue. All third parties should receive exactly the same level of due diligence and ongoing monitoring. The answer is fiction. Third-party oversight should be risk-based. A company supplying office furniture does not normally present the same risk as a cloud provider storing confidential customer information or a partner performing a regulated activity. Organizations should classify third parties using factors such as data access, financial exposure, operational dependency, geographic location, regulatory impact, customer contact, and ease of replacement. Higher risk and critical third parties generally require deeper due diligence, stronger contract protections, more frequent monitoring, and more detailed contingency planning. Question 4. Pay attention to this one. A strong contract is enough to ensure that a third party will manage every risk effectively. The answer is fiction. A well-written contract is essential, but it does not manage the relationship by itself. Contracts can establish security requirements, performance standards, audit rights, reporting obligations, incident notification deadlines, confidentiality protections, and termination rights. But those provisions only create value when the organization monitors performance and acts when obligations are not met. A contract may say that an incident must be reported within hours. Oversight determines whether that actually happens. Think of the contract as the rulebook and monitoring as the referee. Question 5. We're halfway there. Monitoring third-party performance should include more than checking whether invoices are accurate and services are delivered on time. The answer is fact. Cost and delivery matter, but effective oversight goes much further. Depending on the relationship, monitoring may include service-level performance, customer complaints, data security incidents, compliance findings, financial health, staffing changes, business continuity tests, insurance coverage, control reports, litigation, sanctions, and regulatory developments. Organizations should also look for trends. One missed target may be an exception. Repeated delays, declining service quality, staff turnover, and unanswered findings may reveal a much larger problem. Question 6. Let's raise the difficulty. If a third party has an internationally recognized certification, the organization no longer needs to conduct its own oversight. The answer is fiction. Certifications and independent assurance reports can provide valuable evidence, but they are not automatic guarantees. A certification may cover only certain systems, locations, services, or periods of time. It may not address every control that matters to the organization's specific relationship. Management should understand what was examined, what was excluded, whether exceptions were identified, and whether the evidence is still current. Independent assurance can strengthen due diligence, but it does not replace informed judgment or ongoing monitoring. Question 7. This one catches people off guard. A company may face risks from a third-party's subcontractors, even if the company never selected or contracted with those subcontractors directly. The answer is fact. This is sometimes called fourth-party risk. A third party may rely on cloud platforms, data processors, call centers, software providers, payment companies, or other subcontractors to deliver its service. If one of those organizations fails, the disruption can travel through the entire supply chain. That is why companies should understand whether critical third parties use subcontractors, what information those subcontractors can access, where services are performed, and how those relationships are controlled. You may not have signed a contract with the fourth party, but you can still experience the consequences of its failure. Question 8. Stay focused. A third party that passed due diligence when it was hired will remain low risk throughout the relationship. The answer is fiction. Third-party risk can change quickly. A provider may experience financial problems, change ownership, replace key personnel, move operations to another country, introduce new technology, suffer a cyber attack, or begin using additional subcontractors. The organization's own use of the service may also expand. A provider that originally processed limited information could later gain access to critical systems or large volumes of sensitive data. Risk assessments therefore need to be reviewed periodically and whenever a significant change or warning sign appears. Question 9. Almost there. A complete third-party oversight program should include plans for ending the relationship. The answer is fact. Every third-party relationship eventually changes, expires, or ends. An effective exit plan should address data return or secure destruction, removal of system access, transfer of responsibilities, unfinished work, final payments, customer communications, record retention, and continued confidentiality. For critical services, organizations should also consider replacement providers and transition periods. Waiting until a provider fails to think about an exit can create costly delays, data exposure, service disruption, and operational chaos. Question 10. This is the final question, and it's the one that surprises most people. A third-party oversight program can create business value, not just prevent compliance failures. The answer is fact. Third-party oversight is often treated as a defensive compliance exercise, but its value can be much greater. Strong oversight can help an organization identify reliable partners, improve service quality, negotiate better agreements, reduce unexpected costs, respond faster to incidents, and make more informed strategic decisions. It can also reveal which providers consistently innovate, solve problems, and support the organization's long-term objectives. The goal is not to eliminate every possible risk. That would be unrealistic. The goal is to understand which risks matter, decide which risks are acceptable, and ensure that third-party relationships continue delivering value without exposing the organization to unacceptable harm. When oversight is integrated into everyday decision-making, it becomes more than a control. It becomes a competitive advantage. All right, how did you do? Drop your score in the comments. Be honest. Did any of these answers surprise you? 8 or more, you're ahead of most people. 10 out of 10, you may already think like a governance professional. Less than that? Now you know what others don't. Hit like, subscribe, and share this challenge with someone who works with suppliers, contractors, consultants, or technology providers. And come back for the next MPG Fact or Fiction challenge. Because knowing more is how you stay ahead.